Thank you, Tigger. Guys, I've been out for a while, and I gave information why on my Facebook page as to that was the case. But I just wanted to say, in true Greek audio geek fashion, I'm back. Guys, I'm Michael. I am the Greek audio geek, and I just realized I forgot to put on one of my Greek shirts here, but I'm back. It's been a while since I did a video. I apologize. I've been dealing with a personal issue that I did elaborate on my Facebook page, and I usually put daily updates on there, but we're back, and I've got so much stuff to talk about. We just received these beautiful Arcturus Type 45 monoblocks with emission lab tubes. We've got their beautiful preamp with Type 27 tubes. I'm so excited for that. I've still got coming up, and that'll probably be my next video, the Bernoco 300B. I've also got their 6L6 version. We're going to do kind of a shootout between the two. And I'm also going to change those 6L6 tubes to 807s. And how does that make a difference? And then, of course, we've always got the amazing Analog Audio 2A3s here. Guys, I love these. And those are 1943 production Kenrad, not reproduction, actual World War II production Kenrad tubes. Let's see what else. We have the magnificent Airy Surat Concerto 25s. These are only about 23, 24 watts each. They are, I think, 175 pounds each, if memory serves me correct, on the beautiful, beautiful Deep Lake Audio custom audio stands. I love these stands, guys. They are, it took me a couple of years to find ones that I really love. I love these. I'm hoping to swap this out with a Deep Lake at some point. And then we've got the Airy Surat, the Encito preamp, and the Helena DAC. And I think that's everything here. Oh, of course, over my shoulder, the magnificent Tobian 12FH speakers. I love those speakers. Guys, here's the thing. There's so much gear that comes and goes here that you don't see, that I don't really talk about, because it doesn't excite me. And if it doesn't excite me, I'm not going to share it with you. The last thing you need to see me do is a video on something that doesn't excite me. It's going to be like, I'm going to be sitting there saying, this is such and such amp. It has this many watts. It works when you press the power button. I mean, that's what it would be like. So instead, I'm talking to you stuff that I love here. So let's talk about today's video. First, Perry, he is the main dude at Analog Ethos. Perry, I apologize. You are awesome. I reached out to you on the 2A3. You sent a Legendarium. You sent it to me. And it's been a long time coming, this video. So my apologies, my sincere apologies to you that it did take me this long to get to it. It's not my intention typically to take that long. So in the world of hi-fi, yeah, typically speaking, very generally speaking, the more you spend, the better sound, the better parts build you're going to get. I know there are exceptions, and I know that's not a hard and fast rule. But you look at the big bucks of the Airy Surat, it's incredible. You look at, let's say, medium bucks, medium money, the Analog Audio. I love the Analog Audio. I could live forever with the Analog Audio. You look for a little bit less money, the Bernoco, both the Bernoco 300B and their 6L6. I actually like their 6L6 better running 807 tubes, but great amps, and I could be happy with those, no problem. And then we're going to get in the Arcturus after I have a chance to really listen to that. But today we're talking about Analog Ethos. And what's great about Analog Ethos is that you can either get them as a kit or you can get them pre-built. And I asked him to send his Legendarium to me, which is his 2A3. Here's the thing, guys, and I'm looking at his site now because I want to make sure I get it right. First of all, he has a variety of amps. He's got a Pacific 63 push-pull, 15 watts, $14.99. He's got an EL34, 7 watts, $17.99. The Legendarium, which is what I did, 3.5 watts, 2A3. I love 2A3s, $19.99. And he's got and then he's got the Requiem, which is a 6L6 at 20 watts at $24.99. So you can get into, I'm going to call this audiophile performance. And why do I call this audiophile performance? Because it is so far above the mass market stuff. It is so far above most of the stuff that we hear and that people talk about. And it gets you at that level without having to spend a lot of money. If you want to do a 2A3, and I love 2A3s, the Legendarium at $19.99 is a fantastic way for you to get into the magic of 2A3s. You can start tube rolling, you can start playing with all that stuff for not a lot of money. It's a one box solution ready to go for you. All you need to do is you can plug in your streamer or whatever you want. Guys, I really like this Legendarium. And I don't know how else to give it a compliment other than to say, not a lot of money in the HiFi world pricing. Clearly, it's a quality piece. You could tell by the way it fit and finished, the way it sounded. You never felt like, oh, I'm playing when I was touching the switches, the knobs, or the dials. I never felt like, oh, this is a budget piece. I felt like this is a nice piece that somebody who's looking for serious sound and not a lot of money can get into and still have the magic of the 2A3s and the tube rolling. Of course, I'm a tube roller. I put in my vintage tubes that change the sound. I like the sound, but it's really ready to go out of the box. And you can get it either as a kit or you can have Perry pre-build it for you. I got a pre-built one. Had no problem driving my Toby and speakers. And I hooked it up to, actually had a previous streamer. I think this was before I had the Pink Fawn. I had the Antipodes before then and the Helena DAC. And then I played with it on the Pink Fawn Scion streamer, which I love, and the Helena DAC. But you could do something like this and plug in an inexpensive one box streamer DAC if you want. Here's the great thing about it, guys. Because this is tubes, it's going to mask a lot of the harshness and ugliness of lesser expensive digital stuff. There was one thing on this, and I shared this with Perry, and he actually acknowledged that is something that he's thought about and he's thinking of changing, is on the back. And this is funny because I never thought about this until I started kind of reviewing gear. There is some gear that is so easy to get to the back of the stuff. Like my balanced audio technology, the BAT, is so easy to get to the back of that and do stuff. I love that, especially now where I'm always changing cables and setups. Then there's something like the Viva, which is a very expensive Italian amp, and they have the inputs recessed. They're not flush on the back. They actually are recessed. I don't know why they do that. But for me, it's tough to get in the back. That was the one thing that I did share with Perry on this, that if I could change, I would, is that his speaker cable, his binding posts were recessed. So and granted, I have oversized, ginormous spades on my Stealth Audio speaker cable. It was tough for me to get in. I just needed to use a banana adapter and plug it in the back. Honestly, I don't think that's going to affect most people. I think they're not running the size speaker cable I am when you're at this type of an amp. So he was talking about changing that and tweaking that. That is really the only negative I could come up with this amp. When you look at the price, when you look at the sound. So let's talk about the sound. Yes, if you spend more money, you're going to get I don't want to say better, I'm going to say different type of sound, because some people may not hear the difference. You know, my ARC audio is amazing. It's also 4 times the cost of the Legendarium. He's got a variety of amps that you can get as a kit or pre-built that get you into a real bracket of sound and performance for not a lot of money. At that price point, you're going to have lots of extra money to tube roll. I love tube rolling. That's the fun, but you don't need to. You get the good sound out of the box. It feels like a quality product. It's an integrated, it's ready to go. That to me is exciting because I can help get more people into the world of tubes and direct them and say, when they ask me where they should go, Analog Ethos, and feel comfortable that you're going to get a nice product dealing with a great guy. Perry is awesome, and get very nice sound. Always turned on with no big thumps or clicks, no static interference. I didn't hear any hiss or hum coming through the speakers. Guys, this is saying a lot. When you have a lot of gear come and go, you realize that the stuff you take for granted is actually saying a lot of positives about the gear, because there's a lot of stuff that comes in that just doesn't work. If you really want to try 2A3s, I want you to. I love 2A3s. It gets you into, here's the other thing that's great about it, guys. If you have a main system and you say, yeah, you know, I need a secondary system. Maybe I wanted to, I don't want tubes as my main system. I'd love to have it though. His price points allow you to get into tube electronics so you can tube roll. Maybe even have it as a second system. It's not big, it's not heavy. You can put it in and out of your system. You can have your main system, your main big power, whatever, and then just put this in when you're ready to go. Or maybe you want a smaller bedroom system. The price point opens up so many more possibilities than if you're spending $10 or $12 or $20,000 on an amp. And with this as an integrated, you don't need to worry about a preamp. You just need to worry about speakers and source. And you're ready to go. Very well done. Guys, if you're looking to either get a secondary system or you're looking to get into amps and you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want good sound, 100% recommend Analog Ethos. I wholeheartedly support them. I hope they get a lot of people who want to buy their stuff because we need to support these companies. We need to support good people like Perry that care about the customer. That when I was talking to him about the plugs on the back, he engaged. He likes the feedback. Those are the people that make our hobby grow. So Perry, well done. Guys, check him out. I'm going to link to him down below. I probably repeated myself a bunch of times on this, but I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing that I really enjoyed my time with the Analog Ethos. And it's a nice piece. I don't think you're going to go wrong with it. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Guys, I'm the Greek Audio Geek, and I approve of this message. Opa!